Hey BC, happy Sunday. Doompaul here. Just a quick one today. Just got a couple records I've been listening to this week. I was going to do a huge synth pop extravaganza, but then I realized I only had two synth pop records, and I got bored with the second one. So just going to do some random shit. So, hope you guys are all doing well. I'm doing fine. Um, let's see what I got. So, I know a lot of you guys think this guy's a chode, and I get it, but at the same time, I really enjoy their stuff. It is first one, Jethro Tull, Heavy Horses. Now, this is the record where Ian's voice starts to go to shit. Um, he's not quite sounding like the guy from Dire Straits, Mark Knopfler. But you can tell he's stretching. And there's some really good songwriting on this record. What the hell is the... is there a track listing? And the Mouse Police Never Sleeps really good. Jeez, I know the songs by the songs. I don't necessarily know them by their names, so excuse me on that one. But this is the last of their trilogy. I believe maybe it's the second of their sort of nature trilogy, and this one's based around a farm. It's a really solid record. I mean, if you like Tull. If you don't like Tull, you're gonna... I don't know. I don't know. I dig it. I gave it a listen to, and I'm kind of been burnt out on Tull a little bit lately, and which can happen, and I'll put them away for a couple of years. But I put this on, and I was pleasantly surprised how much I enjoyed it again. So yeah, there you go. Heavy Horses. Dig it. Second record. Station to Station, David Bowie. Fantastic record. And I believe this is one that was done in Berlin at the height of his drug use. And I'm kind of making these facts up, so take them with a grain of salt. But I'm pretty sure this was done in Berlin at the height of his drug use, and which is kind of funny because it has a lot of like R&B and sort of soul influences and like old rock and roll, and a lot of sort of doo-wop and stuff like that. Fantastic record. I mean, absolutely. When you talk about a Bowie record, you're talking about something that everybody's heard. So, I have no new insight, but I've just really enjoyed revisiting this one. I mean, it's you're looking at your classics, Golden Years, Station to Station. But the entire, I don't think there's a stinker on the record. It's just really solid. But I really enjoy David Bowie. It's kind of hard, except for the 80s stuff, I don't dig it all. But the whole 70s catalog is pretty fantastic. I'm not sure what year this was. 76. So, it's firmly in the 70s category. So dig. Next is definitely part of the synth pop 80s, and that is Yaz, You and Me Both. Not sure if this is the first or the second. I think Upstairs in Eric's might have been the first. This one's 83, so it might have been the first. So this one's pretty far out of my wheelhouse, and I love it. There's absolutely not a bad song on here. And here's the thing about the 80s, and my knowledge is pretty limited, but they just sort of taken keyboards as your main instrument, and just, I guess the technology is just sort of like jumped, and nobody really knew what they were doing yet with the instrument, and it was just a lot of experimental stuff. And it's Alison Moyet and what's his name? Guy that went on. He was on the first Depeche Mode record, and he also went on to do Erasure. And of course it wouldn't say on the record, because that would just be too easy. No. That's so weird that they don't say who the players are on the record. Oh, Vince Clarke. So Alison Moyet and Vince Clarke. And Alison Moyet has this deep soul, like bluesy voice that's just, while not perfect, is just fantastic. And you know, it's just something that you don't mind listening to. And but what really surprises me is Vince Clarke. I mean, everybody in this time period was just doodling around on keyboards and sort of using them as a sort of a gimmick almost. I mean, but Vince Clarke had this understanding of the sound, which you don't often hear. You know, and the record I was listening to after this was Human League, the self-titled, which has a lot of the exact same sounds that this record has, but there's no cohesion to it. This is really like a full, like, while still experimental, is still like a fully realized record, and yeah, I think it's fucking fantastic. You know, not the stuff I listen to every day, but when I do listen to it, I just enjoy the hell out of it. So, there you go. Yaz, you and me both. If you, honestly, if you haven't heard it, it's worth a hear. It's just, it's campy, it's fun, it's ridiculous, and it's so emo, it's not even funny. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, yeah, love it. Last record. So this will actually be a short one. My good friend Kyle gave me the other day. And I listened to this record when it first came out, and I fucking loved it. And I'd forgotten about it for years and years. And he just swung by my house and brought it to me. And, you know, I re-listened to it yesterday and a little bit of today. And talking about a Neutral Milk Hotel in the airplane over the sea. Nice. Oh, sorry about the shine. A pretty neat little label too. This is a flawless record, in my opinion, and I don't say that very often. I don't think there is a single note or song or anything out of place on this record. The songwriting is just creepy and powerful. And I don't know what genre you would call this. I mean, I guess alt-rock, I don't know. I don't know. It sort of transcends genre in that way. It's, I don't know if there's a storytelling genre. I don't even know. But the songwriting on this, man, is so fantastic. Jeff Magnum, who is sort of the powerhouse, and they came off this label, Elephant Six, I believe it was called, that, doesn't even say here, that they were just doing some really bizarre and experimental stuff at the time. And there's a lot of horns, and a lot of brass, and a lot of just odd instruments. And Jeff Magnum's voice is just entrancing. It's he sounds desperate and hungry and just woeful and amazed. The songwriting is just, it's just out of this world, because it doesn't have a self-examination of itself. It just sort of is what it is, and it's almost a free form of, I mean, it's well thought out, and it's almost a concept album, the whole thing, about all these different freaks, but it's loosely tied together, and it's, I remember years ago reading some stuff about him, and I guess he's a bizarre cat. Yeah, I don't know much about him. But that record, flawless. You don't hear me come on here every day and say flawless record. In my opinion, that is a flawless record. There's not one note out of place. So, I just came back from barbecue and with the wifey, and I'm going to go lay down and take a nap, because I'm full of barbecue. So yeah, so there's my 4 records for the day. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and that's it. Later. Goodbye.